People say a single act of kindness can change your entire life, but Maria never imagined hers would cost her job, or reveal the identity of a stranger whose quiet eyes had been watching her every move. She didn't know the hungry child she fed that night would lead her straight into the office of a man powerful enough to destroy her future, or completely transform it. And as you'll soon see, the man she thought was nobody was about to become the only person who could rewrite her destiny. Chapter 1. The Waitress Who Gave Too Much. Maria Alvarez had learned to live with the heaviness in her chest, the kind that comes from fighting life's battles alone. She was 26, working double shifts at the dusty, run-down diner on the corner of Jefferson Street. Her uniform was faded from too many washes, her shoes had lost the cushion long ago, and her hands carried tiny burns from rushing between hot plates and angry customers. But Maria never complained. She couldn't afford to. Her mother was bedridden following a stroke, and every paycheck, no matter how small, was a lifeline. The diner wasn't glamorous. The tiles were cracked, the neon sign flickered, and the smell of old grease clung to everything. Yet Maria moved through it with a smile, greeting regulars by name, pouring coffee with gentle hands, always finding small moments to make someone feel seen. Her kindness was the only treasure she had left, and she guarded it fiercely. One rainy evening, when the sky was drilled with thunder and the city streets shimmered with reflections, a little boy wandered into the diner. He couldn't have been older than 7. His hair dripped with rain, his clothes clung to his fragile body, and his eyes, big, brown, and desperate, fixed on the plates of food being carried to other tables. He slid into a booth without speaking, shivering uncontrollably. Maria's heart twisted. She approached him slowly. "Sweetheart, where's your mom or dad?" The boy shook his head. I'm just cold," he whispered. "And really hungry." Maria looked toward the kitchen. She knew the rules. The manager, Mr. Collins, had one strict policy: no free food under any circumstances. Not even leftovers. Not even a cup of soup. And Maria couldn't risk losing her job, not with medical bills stacking up at home. But the boy's trembling hands made her decision for her. Without hesitation, she filled a plate with warm scrambled eggs, toast, and a small bowl of soup. She placed it gently in front of him and said, "Eat slowly, okay? You're safe here." The boy devoured the food with a quiet desperation that made Maria's eyes sting. She sat across from him, keeping watch like a guardian. For a moment, she forgot the world's cruelty and remembered what humanity was supposed to feel like. But Maria didn't notice the tall man sitting in the far corner, the one in the simple gray coat, warming his hands around a cup of coffee. His gaze never left her as she comforted the hungry child. His expression was unreadable, but deeply focused. Minutes later, the storm broke again, not from the sky, but from the kitchen. Mr. Collins stormed out, his face red and tight with anger. "Maria, what do you think you're doing?" He pointed at the boy as if he were vermin. "You gave him free food. Are you out of your mind?" Maria stood quickly, placing herself in front of the child. "He's just a kid, sir. He was hungry." "I don't care," Collins barked. "This diner is a business, not a charity. You broke the rules. You're fired. And I want you out right now." The boy looked up at Maria, terrified. She swallowed hard, feeling her throat tighten. "Sir, please. I need this job." "That's not my problem," Collins interrupted, waving his hand dismissively. "Get your things. You're done." Maria felt her world crumble as she removed her apron. Her hands trembled, but she lifted her chin high. "It's okay," she whispered to the boy. "Don't be afraid." She walked out of the diner into the rain, not realizing the man in the gray coat had quietly followed her out, at a distance, his eyes holding something far heavier than pity. Chapter 2. The Stranger Behind the Glass Walls. The next morning, the city felt colder. Maria woke up with swollen eyes and a heart too heavy to lift. She kissed her mother's forehead and pretended everything was fine, even though she had no idea how they would survive without her income. She spent the day searching for jobs, but everywhere she went, she heard the same words: "We're not hiring. Try again next month. We don't have space right now." By evening, exhaustion dragged her feet across the pavement. She walked past tall buildings, unaware that one of them, a polished glass tower reaching into the sky, held the person who had quietly witnessed her downfall.